českému festivalu, Febiofestu, kde byly promítány jeho předešlé filmy, jako například The Blonde One nebo The Absent v minulých letech. Přirozeně jsme tedy velmi nadšení, že můžeme také představit jeho specifický přístup a pohled na film našim divákům zde na Mezipatře. Marco je už velmi známý, má za sebou úspěchy na několika velmi respektovaných filmových festivalech, jako je například Berlinále a podobně. A každých pár let přijde s novým vzrušujícím filmem o mužské touze a o různých podobách gay lásky. Jeho poslední film, Lovec, je jeho 7. celovečerní film a vypráví příběh 15letého Ezekiela, který se vydá na cestu sebepoznávání a poznávání své sexuality, ale dostane se do situace, kdy začne být vydírán dílerem dětské pornografie. Pokud jste film ještě neviděli, tak se na něj určitě podívejte. Je to velmi zajímavý film a zaručuji vám, že více nebo spoustu takových filmů neuvidíte. To by bylo ke krátkému představení filmu. A teď bych už ráda poděkovala našemu hostu, Marco Bergerovi. Marco, děkuji, že jste se připojil k nám do Prahy a díky za váš čas. Děkuji vám, mám velkou radost, že tu můžu být a mám moc rád vaše město, takže vám děkuji. My jsme nadšení, že jste teď s námi. Já bych velmi ráda začala něčím pozitivním, ale je jasné už z toho, co jsem řekla, že váš film není příliš pozitivní. Je to velmi temný film, velmi takový tajemný a jeho hlavní téma je velmi závažné. Můžete nám říct, jak jste se dostal k takovému tématu, že jste napsal scénář o dětské pornografii? Je to takové závažné téma v Argentíně? Ani ne. Já jsem vlastně chtěl vyprávět o morálních rozhodnutích lidí a proto jsem do toho filmu vložil takovýto velký problém s pornografií, videofilmy, videotelefony. Vím, že ten film je velmi temný, vím, že jde o závažné a nebezpečné téma, ale bylo to především zvoleno kvůli tomu, abych se zabýval otázkou, co uděláte, když musíte udělat takové rozhodnutí, když se musíte zabývat sami sebou a tím, co dělají ostatní. Takže je to pro mě film o lidské morálce a o vlastních rozhodnutích ohledně vlastního života. Úplně na začátku ten příběh vyšel z policejních záznamů kolem roku 2000. Šlo o učitele angličtiny nebo učitele informatiky, a který se seznámil s 18letým chlapcem a oni začali jaksi dohazovat kluky, kterým bylo 13, 14, 15, na různé sexuální párty. A ten učitel pak byl ve vězení, tak to byl hlavní námět, a pak jsem ještě namixoval tento film s dalšími událostmi, ale zároveň jsem nechtěl, aby byl ten film realistický. Já sám osobně neznám žádný podobný případ s jaksi tajným distributorem pornografie v Argentině, ale vím, že existují, vím, že na internetu můžete najít spoustu takových materiálů, obrázků pornografických. A chtěl jsem tedy mluvit o tomto problému a zároveň tento problém těchto kluků nebo toho kluka, že on je uzavřený v určité bublině, je mu 15, 16, jeho rodina neví, že je gay a on si nemůže říct o pomoc nikomu, protože nikoho takového nemá. A proto jsem si zvolil takovéto téma. A váš pohled nebo úhel pohledu v této problematice není sociálně nabitý, nebo nejde o sociální problém, jde spíše tedy o etický problém. Chápu to správně? Ano. Ano, je to taková vlastně výmluva a já jsem potřeboval vytvořit kolem té postavy takové monstrum. A toto monstrum je právě dětská pornografie a temná stránka internetu. Ale myslím, že vše směřuje k jednomu bodu, kdy jinakost už není tak temná, protože když vidíte svět, který je temný, tak vy se dokážete od toho světa oddělit a můžete činit vlastní a jiná rozhodnutí. Takže mi šlo o individuální pohled a ten film sám říká, že každý ví, že existuje temná stránka, stejně jako v Hvězdných válkách. Je tedy temná síla a je tedy světlá síla. A vy si můžete vybrat, na které straně chcete být. A já si myslím, že to je ten problém. A že když si člověk zamotá do toho, tak je to taková výmluva, protože vy se musíte rozhodnout a ten člověk se do toho zamotá ve filmu a nakonec se musí rozhodnout a ví, že toto rozhodnutí ho poznamená na celý život. A proto jsem ho tímto politickým způsobem jaksi ponořil do vody a on se musí sám obnovit. I když je to téma velmi eroticky nabité, tak sám film není sexuálně explicitní. Spousta milostných scén je velmi křehkých, jsou velmi takové tam náznaky a vidíme většinou pouze horní část vašich postav, ale sexuální napětí je přítomno po celý film. Proč jste se rozhodl být takto striktní ohledně nahoty? Protože když natáčíte podobný film, já kdybych chtěl natočit film pornografie nebo o prostituci nebo o čemkoliv, kde by byli nazí dospělí lidé, pak bych neměl problém natočit takovéto sexuální scény. Ale v tomto filmu já chci kritizovat pornografii s mladými lidmi, pornografii s náctiletými a samozřejmě bych mohl najít herce, kterému bude 18, 19 a bude vypadat mnohem mladší. A mohl bych natočit podobné sexuální scény. Je spousta filmů jako Antikristus nebo Životní, kde jsou takové scény a já jsem mohl najít chlapce, kterým by bylo víc než 18 a vypadal by mladší na 14 na 15. Mohl jsem to s nimi natočit, ale nechtěl jsem natočit provokativní film, nechtěl jsem, aby byl šokující. Chtěl jsem natočit chytrý film, inteligentní film a delikátní film, který bude k tomuto tématu přistupovat opatrně. A taky, kdybych měl kluka, kterému bude 18 a dělal bych z něj 14letého kluka, tak by to vypadalo nebo znamenalo, že chci je kritizovat a že chci ukazovat kluky, že vypadají jako náctiletí. To by bylo zvláštní. To jsem nechtěl. Já jsem opravdu chtěl být opatrný už ve scénáři, ale i při natáčení, aby tam nebyl vůbec žádný sex a aby tam nebyla nahota. Je tam jedna taková scéna uprostřed filmu, je velmi delikátní, nevidíte vlastně to, co byste mysleli, že uvidíte, protože je natočená opatrně a nechtěl jsem chtěl jsem tedy k tomuto tématu přistupovat velice delikátně. Děkuji za odpověď. Pokud to chápu správně, tak herci byli opravdu věku, který vidíme ve filmu. Má otázka zní, jak se pracuje s takovýmito pro vás pravděpodobně neskušenými herci. Hlavní postava, tak té je 21, on je trošku větší, hraje 15letého kluka, to nebyl problém, pak ten tetovaný kluk, ten byl taky starší a pak jsem měl malého kluka, tomu bylo 13, bude mu 14 a tam mu je 13 a herci bylo 15. A to je bratr toho tetovaného kluka, který se jmenuje Mono nebo Monkey, opice. A já, když jsem viděl jeho obrázek, tak na Instagramu, tak jsem se ho ptal, to je tvůj kamarád? A on říkal, ne, to je můj bratr a on chce být herec. A já jsem říkal, to je skvělé, protože nebudu mít problém vlastně s rodinou, že rodina nebude mít pochybnosti ohledně tématu filmu, tak jsem ho pozval na casting a on měl radost, celá rodina měla radost, protože oba kluci z rodiny byli ve filmu, jedním z nich je 15, my jsme samozřejmě si vyžádali povolení a také jsme ukázali, že tam nebude žádná nahota. No a byli to bratři, takže to nebyl problém. A i když tomu klukovi bylo 15, tak on byl velmi chytrý, pochopil, o čem ten film je, pochopil scénář, my jsme se mohli o všem bavit, takže to vyšlo velmi skvěle. Nikdy tam nedošlo k nějakým delikátním chvílím, že bych mohl nějakým způsobem ovlivnit jeho život. Já jsem už od začátku věděl, že je chytrý, on věděl, že hraje, že je herec a měl z toho radost. Další věc, která mě hodně překvapila, byla intenzita a také velmi zralý výkon hlavního herce Ezekiela. Můžeme říct, že jde o budoucí hvězdu argentinského filmu, protože je opravdu skvělý herec. A skvěle se na něj dívá. Můžete nám říct, jak jste ho přesně našel a co jste přesně hledal, když jste takového herce vlastně hledal? Ano, jde o úžasného herce. Doufám, že bude mít skvělou kariéru, i když Argentina není Hollywood, takže tu není tolik příležitostí. Ale říkal jsem mu, že je hlavní postavou v tomto filmu a to možná není něco, co by se mu dělo pořád a on si to uvědomoval. No a Javier de Pietro, herec, to je můj kamarád, je to taky můj asistent a je to hlavní herec v Absent a v Butterfly, v mých předešlých filmech. A on dokáže pracovat jako herec a zároveň jako asistent. On pracoval také na castingu a já jsem mu řekl o tomto herci a říkal jsem mu, že by bylo lepší, když by mu bylo víc než 18, že budeme moci točit více než 8 hodin denně, protože když je mladší, tak můžete natáčet pouze 6 hodin a nesmíte natáčet každý den, takže by to bylo komplikované, obzvlášť když jde o hlavní postavu. Takže jsme měli výběrové řízení, casting, ten kluk přišel a on měl velmi zvláštní vlasy nebo účes, tak jsem mu říkal, ať si ty vlasy dá na stranu, ať si je trošku namočí a ať si je trošku ať si odkryje trošku čelo. A když jsem ho viděl, tak jsem pochopil, že je skvělý. On byl malý, byl hubený, ale byl takový svalnatý. Já jsem chtěl takové typy, jako jsou na ulicích. Nechtěl jsem, aby byl tak úplně křehký. A on měl velmi zvláštní tvář. Mně přišlo, že vypadá téměř jako určité zvíře, tak jsem kolem něj kroužil kamerou na určitých úhlech. Vypadal nádherně, v jiných úhlech zase tak ne. Někdy, když se tak uhrančivě dívá, tak vypadá velmi zle a bláznivě. A to mi nakonec umožnilo, abych se rozhodl a zavolal jsem mu a řekl jsem mu, že bude hlavní postava. Děkuji moc za odpověď. Jak jsem už zmínila, Lovec je naplněn napětím, ať už sexuálním nebo jiným druhy napětí. Je to i thriller, je to horor, je tam obrovské napětí. Myslím, že to funguje na plátně úplně úžasně, ale neumím si představit, jak těžké to bylo vytvořit už ve scénáři. Jak jste k tomuto přistupovali? Jak jste dokázal napsat ve scénáři tyto scény tohoto krásného a hrozivého napětí? Já vlastně nevím. Když občas říkám, že kdybych nebyl gay, tak bych určitě byl skvělý režisér možná hororů a thrillerů. Určitě si beru inspiraci například od Hitchcocka, například ve svém filmu Absent. A mám rád napětí. Na začátku mé kariéry všichni mluvili o sexuálním napětí a já jsem nikdy nevěděl, co na to mám říct, nebo jak to dělám. Ale vím, že napíšu scénář, pak natočím film, já nemám žádné verze scénářu. A když píšu, tak jsem opravdu přítomný tomu procesu psaní a jsem empatický ke svým postavám. Když se postava bojí, já se bojím, když postava pláče, já brečím a tyto obrazy se pak snažím stvárnit ve filmu. Nemám ale žádný přesný recept. Je to něco, co mám možná díky filmům, které jsem viděl, nebo jsem se s tím narodil, nebo to mám z knih, které jsem četl, z filmů, které jsem viděl. Nějak se mi to daří. A první verze Lovce se mi úplně nelíbila, takže tam ta postava nebyla tak divná, jak jsem chtěl. A pak jsem udělal jiný střih, který jsem trošku přemixoval, kde jsem přehodil pár scén a najednou to fungovalo. A nevím proč. Vím, že je to spíše to sexuální napětí nebo to hororové napětí se vytváří spíš při samotném natáčení kamerou nebo při střihu. Tedy v době, kdy už pracujeme, ne když píšu. A já, když to někdy učím studenty, tak pokaždé, když tedy natáčím takovéto filmy, tak pracuji s hudbou a to jim říkám. A když já vím, že když musím už střihnout, tak já nikdy neřeknu stop hned, já ještě si odpočítávám 1, 2, 3 a pak teprve to stopnu a když pak film stříhám, tak můžu využít tyto externí klipy, ale určitě nemám žádný recept. Já jsem studoval drama už, když mi bylo 15 a já jsem byl opravdu blázen, byl jsem cinefil, byl jsem blázen do filmů, viděl jsem třeba 5 filmů denně, když jsem byl mladý a když mi pak bylo 30, tak jsem dělal první film a 15 let jsem do té doby jaksi nasával všechny různé inspirace z filmů a tahle ta kombinace ze mě udělala dnes režiséra. Jak jste mluvil o časování a o střihu, tak tiché chvíle filmu jsou velmi důležité pro ten film. A další věc, která je na tom důležitá, je filmová hudba, která sama mluví často za sebe a často je to něco, co nám může dát určité náznaky toho, co přijde, zatímco obraz v tu chvíli mlčí a zůstává stejný. Takže by mě zajímalo, jak přesně jste s hudbou pracoval, jak jste tu hudbu vložil do filmu a propojil ji s obrazem. Hudba je důležitá, já pracuji se stejnými hudebníky už od prvních svých filmů. A je to vlastně můj kamarád, kdo mi dělá hudbu, jeho dcera dokonce ve filmu hraje. A my se nikdy nedomlouváme na hudbě před filmem. Já film natočím, někdy používám jinou hudbu, někdy hudbu takzvaně kradu z jiných hororů, nebo použiju hudbu Mozarta, Beethovena a tak dále. A pak mu ten film ukážu i s tou hudbou, co jsem zvolil. A my se známe velmi dobře, já ho znám, on zná mě, takže já mu ten film dám a řeknu mu, dělej si s tím, co chceš. On tu hudbu udělá a pokaždé, když na něco přijde nebo má nějaký klip, tak mi zavolá a já k němu jdu, poslechneme si to a pak jsou 3 různé možnosti. Já řeknu, že se mi to vůbec nelíbí, on začne znovu, pak řeknu, je to perfektní, nic s tím nedělej, a pak řeknu někdy, no, líbí se mi to, ale možná to piano je příliš, tak to můžeš trošku změnit. No a my pak na tom tak 2-3 hodiny pracujeme a pak, když je to hotové, tak mu řeknu, skvělý, no a potom pokračujeme s další scénou. A tak to probíráme každou část filmu, pracujeme třeba 2 až 3 týdny a je to hotovo. No a když se mi to líbí, tak jsem šťastný a spokojený, ale někdy říkám samozřejmě hlouposti, říkám, že třeba v této části filmu by měla být ta hudba taková, jakási vyvolávat napětí, ale zase bych chtěl, aby tam byla třeba jenom flétna. A někdy jsou to hloupé nápady, které si myslím, že budou fungovat a on je pak určitým způsobem opravuje. A já říkám, že já se pořád učím a učím se v natáčení i v výběru hudby. Doufám, že až mi bude 50, budu natáčet opravdu skvělé filmy. A tohle to všechno je vlastně zkoušení nových věcí, zlepšování se a představuju si, že jednoho dne budu mít třeba spoustu peněz pro to, abych mohl svoji představivost opravdu rozvinout. A samozřejmě jsem si vědom, že filmy, co jsem natočil nebo napsal, jsou dobré filmy, ale nikdy si nemyslím, že by to bylo něco, co už je hotové a teď budu dělat filmy jiné. Já se chci neustále zlepšovat, chci růst a ani u filmu Lovec jsem si nemyslel, že by to byl nejlepší film mého života. Je to prostě film a pak bude další film a každý z těch filmů mi pomáhá růst jako režisérovi. Abychom se ještě vrátili k tomu napětí ve vašem filmu a k té hrůze, bavili jsme se o tom, že Lovec může být také označen za thriller, ale na začátku to vypadá jako takový coming of age příběh, takový příběh dospívání. Zdá se mi, že tohleto propojení těchto dvou žánrů není pro vás nic nového. Už jste to dělal dřív. Například váš film Plán B, ten propojuje nebo spojuje vlastně tropy romantické komedie a sexuálního napětí, dramatického napětí. Má otázka tedy zní, je ještě nějaký žánr, který byste chtěl prozkoumat a ještě jste tak neučinil a třeba ho propojit ještě s něčím úplně jiným? Nevím. Chtěl bych určitě natočit nějaký milostný příběh, ale možná začnu jinak. Mám rád, když ve filmu lidé propojují věci a žánry. Před pár lety jsem viděl jako romantickou komedii, která byla propojená také s jinými žánry. Já jsem si říkal, ty bláho, to je skvělý, protože to je nový styl, je to vlastní cesta, kterou můžete stále hledat. A já bych chtěl možná natočit takový sladký milostný příběh, který by byl propojen s retrofuturismem. Nevím, jestli přesně rozumíte, co myslím, ale je to taková science fiction, takový vědecko-fantastický námět, dystopický. A to bych chtěl zkusit. A zároveň bych chtěl ještě více pracovat s myslí diváků. To je asi velmi dobře vidět ve filmu In Absent. Na začátku toho filmu vlastně vytvořím takovou zrůdu, která je to psychopat, takový teenager, o kterém si myslíte, že je bláznivý, a pak se ten film najednou promění. Vy se podíváte na ty scény znova a pochopíte, že je to jenom zamilovaný kluk. Takže mě zajímá práce s myslí diváka a to mám také asi z Hitchcocka. Hitchcock, když natáčel Psycho, tak říkal, že lidé zase začnou bát, když je ta hrůza psychologická. Protože když se třeba hlavní postava uprostřed filmu, když zemře, tak vy si vlastně říkáte, už tam nebude co zobrazovat. Ale důležité je, aby divák se identifikoval s tou postavou. A když si divák bude myslet, že je hlavní postava a ve prostřed filmu umře, tak to bude velmi vzrušující, protože on bude si bude říkat, aha, a co teď? Co budu vlastně dělat? A i ve filmu Lovec na začátku vidíte, že to je takový možná milostný příběh mezi tím klukem a tím tetovaným klukem, ale začnou se dít divné věci, pak tam začne hrát ta zvláštní hudba, která navazuje napětí a hrůzu a najednou se ztratíte, nevíte, kam ten film vede A to je chvíle, kdy já můžu uchopit mysl a pozornost diváka. A pokud mají diváci tu trpělivost se na mé filmy dívat a dostat se dovnitř, tak pro vás bude velmi těžké se dostat ven. A uvědomuji si to, když píšu scénář, někdy ho pošlu lidem a ti lidi mi říkají, já jsem četl prvních 10 stran a pak jsem už nemohl přestat, protože jsem potřeboval vědět, kam se to vyvine. A když píšu scénář a když píšu film, tak se snažím hrát hru se svojí vlastní myslí. To znamená být svůj vlastní divák. A často si říkám, jak bych mohl toho diváka nalákat a dostat ho do toho procesu filmu. Je to velmi složité. Ano, určitě tomu rozumím. Ještě, abych trošku se věnovala té vaší inspiraci. Vy jste určitě viděl spoustu filmů, byl jste na spoustě festivalů. Takže by mě zajímalo, jestli existuje nějaký specifický trend současného queer filmu, který máte obzvlášť rád a který byste třeba sám chtěl vyzkoušet. Tolik toho zase o trendech ve filmu nevím. Úplně nesleduju, co lidé teď dělají. Nevím, jestli něco je trend nebo ne. Já se snažím filmy natáčet tak, jak je chci já vidět, nebo jak je chci já natáčet. Samozřejmě jsou režiséři, které mám rád. Anne Lee, Zkrocená hora, ale úplně současné režiséry úplně zase tak neznám. Strašně se mi líbil film Matias a Maxim od Xaviera Dolana, ale zase se mi nelíbí všechny jeho filmy. A nedívám se samozřejmě jen na queer filmy. Nejde jen o to, že já nechci natáčet queer filmy. Nikdo třeba neřekne, že Pretty Woman nebo Hvězdné války jsou heterofilm. Já to vidím stejně. Já nechci říkat, že natáčím queer filmy. Já natáčím filmy, já vím, že to jsou queer filmy, že jsou to gay filmy, ale nechci je tak označovat. Chci natáčet filmy. A stejně jako nemůžete nějak onálepkovat Woodyho Allena a jeho filmy, které by byly heterofilmy, tak já nechci nálepkovat své filmy. Nechci tím snižovat queer film. Já queer kinematografii miluji, i queer festivaly, ale sám se tak nechci pouze vidět. Vidím to jako film pro všechny, pro gay lidi, pro hetero lidi, pro trans lidi, pro všechny. To je velmi zajímavý pohled na věc a určitě by možná třeba nebylo špatné začít nálepkovat heterofilmy, kdyby třeba televize označila Pretty Woman jako pozor, toto je ale heterofilm. No, to by byla opravdu legrace. To byla bohužel poslední otázka, my už nemáme více času. Marko, moc krát vám děkuji za to, že jste se k nám připojil, že jste si udělal čas na tuto diskusi. Moc vám držím palce pro váš film, našem festivalu. Moc krát děkuju. Já jsem na začátku možná jsem si říkal, že když to bude anglicky, tak to bude složitější, tak doufám, že to vyšlo. Ne, myslím, že jsme tomu rozuměli, tak doufám, že všichni tomu rozuměli i v češtině. Děkuji. Nashledanou. To je ode mě vše. A následovat bude rozhovor s naší hlavní porotou, která se podělí o myšlenky o filmech naší hlavní soutěži, takže určitě zůstaňte připojeni a moc krát děkuji, že jste byli s námi. Naschledanou.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to our Mezipatra live studio, which happens every night during the whole festival, which is taking place online this year. As you know, you can watch all the films throughout the program every night of the festival, so you don't have to follow any screenings. You can just choose the film you want to watch and select it and watch it every night that you like to. I would like to talk about the juries of the festival now. As you know, you are the biggest jury of the festival, as we have an audience award, and you can choose from all the new feature films. You can just follow the link in the description of every film throughout the competition and the new feature films, and rate it, and you will be giving the audience award of the 21st Mezipatra. Next, we have also a student jury, which consists of 3 great students from Prague and international, and they give the award for the best short film. And last but not least, and that's why we are here tonight, we have the main jury of the festival, which is giving out the award for the best feature film in competition. I would like to welcome all the jurors here with me tonight. And first of all, I would like to shortly introduce everyone. First of all, we have Bára Šichanová, who is my long years friend, and she is a dramaturgist of the Czech national broadcaster of the radio, and she also is the host of a very special podcast that is called Šeptej, Whisper in English, about intimacy. Hello, Bára.
Hi, hello, thanks for having me.
Next, I would like to welcome my next friend, who is Brigitte O'Shea. She is the head of industry at Doc Leipzig, which is a documentary film festival in Germany, and she also is a founder or co-founder of the Documentary Association of Europe. Hello and welcome, Brigitte.
Thank you so much for having me, Pavel.
Hi. And last but not least, it's Marian Amsler, who is also my friend, and he is a great theater director from Slovakia. He has directed, among others, also for the Slovak National Theatre, and he is also a teacher at the University of Performing Arts in Bratislava. Hello and welcome, Marian.
Thank you very much. Hi to everyone.
Hi. So, our jurors this year, they are in a very special position because they cannot be here with us in Prague in the cinema halls, which is of course hurting us a lot, that we cannot share the cinematic experience with them. But to start the discussion, I would like to ask you personally, how is the lockdowns and the current situation that we have in our countries affecting you, your life, and maybe your job? Bára, would you like to start?
Yeah, sure. So, well, of course, the situation is now difficult for all of us, I guess. But I have to say I'm probably one of the lucky ones because so far I have no bad experience with lockdown. I feel fine. All of beloved people around me are okay, healthy. So fingers crossed that everything's okay. And in radio, we are trying to work like pretty normally, just with less people in a building, in studios, of course. And more of them are staying at the home office, me included. For most of my work, I don't need to use any studio, so I can record, in my bedroom under the blanket when there is a need to do that. So I feel really fine. And what also lockdown gave to me, if I can say, it's maybe. The realization how important for me, for my mental health, is walking and especially running. And so that's it.
I'm happy you say that because I actually enjoy walking myself, and I find the pleasure in it nowadays.
Yeah.
Bridget, how are you in this situation? How is your lockdown, and how is your life in this special condition?
Well, I think like in Germany, we're pretty lucky because since the initial outbreak, like the numbers here have been fairly low. And I think in the two cities that I spend most of my time in, being Berlin and Leipzig, because of like the fabric of the cities, the way they're built, the way people live, actually we have a lot more space than I would say like if you're living in Paris or in London or in New York, where things have been decidedly different. In terms of work, it completely changed everything this year because also I like founded a new company or association or whatever you want to call it, a new entity in February. So like we had a plan of how we would like roll that out this year, and then of course nothing that we had planned to do we did do, and we did totally different things instead. And so, you know, like in that sense it was probably for us not such a bad thing, because not traveling meant that we could keep the costs associated with the PR of launching something new to an absolute minimum, because the internet and online space offers you different ways to reach different people.
Yes.
And then in terms of being alive, also on top of the pandemic and the lockdown, like the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement that had already started, and these new conversations about civil rights and human rights and race and ethnicity inside like the white supremacist machine that is the European Union, which mostly finances the work that I do, has been really interesting. So I would say, like, despite all of the really nasty stuff that's happened this year, and despite the terrible oppression that other people have faced, for me this year has been deeply inspiring and really interesting, and I've been trying to expand
Yes.
my world and expand
Yes.
my discourse while wearing leggings on my couch.
And I have also noticed in Germany it has become a topic. For example, how racist the police officers are, and this movement, you know, it clearly has an impact on all the countries, not only the US, which is great. Marianne, how about you? How are you feeling? How is your life?
Well, as far as I work for theater, and in theater we need live audience, so the working is really, really difficult right now. Especially right now, I'm working on a project with a Bratislava queer theater, No Mantinels, and it's a really kind of documentary play about queer people, about their lives during socialism, during the communist era, and the project already started. We have to finish it until this year because of some fundings, and so now we are working on it, but we don't know if there will be an opening night or we will stream it online for people at home. But you know, it's different in theater than in movies, so we really don't know right now what will happen, but we hope that everything will be fine. So we will finish the project, and it will be streamed, or it will get to the audience. And my second job is teaching at the Academy of Performing Arts. It's the situation like we have distant teaching, so I can be at home and talk to my students, but I really miss the contact with them, so it's the same. But the good thing, maybe I can watch a lot of movies. I could see all the Mezipatra movies like in time and didn't miss anything from the program. So that's the good thing, that I'm in no rush, no hurry, no stress as usual. So I'm taking it like now it's again time for a little rest, and maybe absorb some
Yes.
new situation.
Yes, and Marianne, I also happen to know that you folks in Bratislava have theater festival called Drama Queer. It was supposed
Yes.
to take place recently, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was in the middle of October, and I was attending with two of my performances I did sooner this year. But the situation was that some of the performances were cancelled, but some of them were streamed online. So it was really great, organized by Robert Pakan and his team. So we did like performance. We played for the cameras, and quite all of the shows were streamed online. So the festival took its place, but wasn't open for audience.
But it was, some kind of this hybrid version of the festival.
Yeah.
That we had, that we may.
Everything's new for us. We have to try what we can to do.
Yes. We are all trying to do what we can. That's right. Now I would like to talk a little bit about this year's Mezipatra, because you folks know the festival, of course, since many years. I would like to ask you a very personal question, what you thought of the program of the 21st Mezipatra, meaning this year, in general. Did you have a chance to attend any of the side events, or were you just watching the films? And we will talk about the individual films later. So just what you think in general, Baro, if you can start.
Yes, I suppose I could take this as an opportunity to thank you, all you guys of the Mezipatra crew, because I think you did a great job. It had to be exhausting, and made a lot of effort to transform all the program from cinema that was planned to online space, and this unbelievable Mezipatra TV, which was very great. And I'm honored I could be the host of two discussions a few days ago. So it was also a great experience with your professional approach. So you do really great job. So thanks for that. And to be honest, I had no time to watch much of off program yet. But I have to lot to catch up, and I will. But to the movies, I was pretty surprised by the quality and also diversity between the movies. Speaking of main competition, they come from very different environments and countries, and depict various topics. Of course, probably they will also very different kind of audiences on a scale of LGBTQ plus people. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
And we thank you, Bara, from the bottom of our hearts for being, besides a great juror, also a great host, traditionally to our off-program discussions, and it's been really special this year. Bridget, what did you think of the program in general?
Well, first of all, it's super nice for me because I spend a lot of time in the documentary space. So to have the opportunity to watch some fiction films for a change is very refreshing for me. But of course, I have to give a shout out for the documentaries. So don't forget also to watch I think there are at least 3 documentaries in the competition who I've watched. One is still on my to watch list.
There are 2 documentaries in competition and 3 documentaries besides that, all the documentaries as well.
Yeah. And I like also because the 2 documentaries are quite genre pushing ones. They're also somehow sitting at the intersection of fiction and documentary. So it's interesting that they haven't only, I guess, been selected for their thematic approaches or for the themes that they cover, but also for their artistic merit. So it's been really exciting to see.
Bridget. Marianne, what is your feeling about the 21st Mezipatra and its program?
Yeah, I enjoy it very much, and of course, thank you that I could be part of it somehow. And I visit Mezipatra, and we also have Bratislava Film Festival in Akosti, and sometimes there are quite the similar movies. So, but this year's Mezipatra for me was like I could watch all of the movies in the main program, and I also watched the Q&As with directors sometimes because I find it interesting also for my profession. So I was really enjoying the talks about the movie, especially today. It was really interesting about this El Cazadore movie. I was always thinking about when you do such a film, how do you cast the actors, especially young actors, and how to work with them on these very sensitive topics. And so it was really interesting to watch also these discussions. And for the main program, we are really in a hard position to decide the winner of the festival because I would say I have like 4 or maybe 5 movies that are at the top of the list for me, and I was like, oh wow, this one is great. It has to be the winner. And then comes another one, and I say, oh my god, this is maybe better, but maybe not. I don't know. So
Yeah.
when we first met with the colleagues from the jury, we were talking like what's most important for us to decide. It's maybe the social approach, the impact, the quality of the movie techniques, of the camera, or so on. And in my opinion, I think we agreed that maybe the most important thing will be really the impact of the movie, maybe
Yes.
the social importance, why the film was made, and about what it is. It's maybe more important than the technical or the artistic matter. But I must say, both sides, both qualities were at a very high level. So I really liked the movies I'd seen. And yeah, it will be difficult. We haven't decided yet, so we have a little more time, but
Yes.
looking forward for another discussion.
And I must say, I do not envy your position because, as you may notice, we
Yeah.
love all our films, and it's probably the toughest part of your job, to select the parameters that will play the decisive, role in who is gonna be awarded. And I'm happy, Marianne, that you mentioned the side events and the discussions with the Q&As with the filmmakers as well, because that's a great advantage of this online festival, that all the discussions, all the side events are actually recorded and being out there in the world of the web for everybody to access anytime. So actually, I feel like I have spent the most active time watching people talk at Mezipatra this year, like more than ever before, because I'm always on my couch at home and I'm watching all the YouTube streams, and I'm always there, which is a great access to this online edition, I would say. Baro, I already mentioned that you have your own podcast about the intimacy and about love, about sex on the Czech public broadcaster, on the Czech public radio. And I noticed that you have already done maybe during spring some editions, some parts of the podcast about love and sex during quarantine or during lockdowns. How would you say that this is actually having impact on us? What did your protagonist say?
Yeah, this was a special episode prepared during the spring, as you mentioned, and The episode contains an interview with a head of research department of sex laboratory, and they made an evaluation of one part of research about the impact of pandemic of COVID-19 on sexual lives of Czech people. And the result was for someone obvious, maybe, but it says that were less depressed, for example, and more satisfied were people living in couples or in relationships compared to singles. Well, that is probably the reason why singles felt more motivated to find a new girlfriend or boyfriend after the end of lockdown. Then all the participants confirmed as well an increase of the desire to have sex with someone, which is also interesting. But anyway, the bottom line is there is no such a thing as a COVID-19 effect on a whole population and their sexual life, let's say.
Yeah. But we will see in the next months or years or in our lives how this actually affected us, right? Because we are living now in the spiral of immediate and quick changes. Everything is so dynamic. So I'm actually myself very curious how this turns out.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Marianne, as I mentioned, you are a theater director, and if I know correctly, you've been rehearsing and also performing the plays online. How is it? How is it working? How is the reception of the audiences of the online plays?
Yeah, it's kind of new experience for us with preparing this online stream in theater because we are used to play for live audience, of course, and you put 3 cameras in the audience, and then you start. We have some rehearsals, technical rehearsals about the sound and light and so on. And if everything works, then we go online and stream the show. But yeah, it's really strange feeling for the actors to play, to act in front of empty hall. So they have to focus more on the cameras, and something is like a little bit different. But I think the reception is quite good. I hope the online space will be full, unfortunately, in a while, because everyone now must be online. So it's like every day there's a lot of activities, and not only theater, film festivals,
Yes.
and different festivals, and also the school, some other projects, and everything. So I hope that people will accept this for a while, and still will be willing to watch it.
Yes.
And stay with us, because this is hard times for artists,
Yes.
especially for artists that needs to be live,
Yes.
like not only theater makers but also musicians and all the stuff around it, because
Yes.
it's not only about artists, it's also about other professions that works in this industry. And so I hope that we will survive these hard times for a while, and these new experiences we can maybe use and develop something more, because there is also this like genre of live cinema or theater that is also video recorded and played online during performance. So this is kind of similar, but the new thing is that it's online, so you cannot change anything during the streaming process.
Yes.
So everything has to be perfectly rehearsed, and then every mistake counts, as you cannot fix it. So it's better than movie making, because you can do it again, but in this live theater you must be perfect. But I love the thing that it's not perfect, because it's you can see it's live, so every mistake counts
Yes.
and then you can feel that this is really going live. So.
But believe me that for us as festival organizers, it is a completely different mindset as well. I'm watching the numbers of the viewers at the festival every day. I get this report, but and I am at the festival every day in the studio or elsewhere. I'm always working at the festival, but I don't see the audiences. But I know they are there, and I have to constantly remind myself, there are people watching us, there are people that are with us every day, and I would like to thank the audiences that you are with us, that you are watching the films, and that you are watching the live studios. It means a lot for us, and but at the same time, we have to constantly remind ourselves that there are actually people behind the computers that are with us, even though we do not see them physically. Bridget, you just finished the last Doc Leipzig a couple of weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, or 2 weeks ago. Could you maybe shortly describe how was the festival for you? How was this new experience? Maybe it was a little bit hybrid as well. I know you had some screenings in cinemas, but at the same time, your industry program was totally online, right?
Yeah, so for anyone who's from the Mezipatra general audience, if you Doc Leipzig is the oldest festival for animation and documentary in the world. It exists in 65 years, but the industry program is much younger, and so the festival program is public facing, and it's for the local audience as much as it is to delight our international guests. Whereas the industry program is really targeted at as a meeting place or marketplace for people to buy and sell documentary films. Mm-hmm. So for us in May, it was totally clear already that we wouldn't be able to have a physical festival or a physical industry program because we're too embedded in the international scene. Mm-hmm. And it didn't seem correct to have some guests who would be able to come and other guests who would be forced either to miss out on the experience entirely, yes, or participate in a different way. So we made the decision really early on. And then for the film festival part, because it's really there to nourish and service the local audience first, we were able to have some screenings. But also it was very strange because we made the executive decision either all the filmmakers come or no filmmakers can come. So we had screenings for our local audience, and then we had either pre-recorded material that filmmakers had sent into us with Q&As or discussions, and then also some live programming. And live panel discussions, live Q&As. That part of the award ceremony was also live streamed. So it was a mix of all kinds of things. And the reason also for that this year was because it was the first time we were doing it. So it's yes, when you have no basis to build on, and I'm sure for Mezipatra, for your team, it was also the same. You're going into something without any kind of notes from previous editions about how you would make something better, or what's the, you have this amount of budget, how can we spend it the best way, or which guests will like which things. There's years and years of market experience that have gone into planning these film festivals, and I mean, they're still deeply problematic in their own way, but we have all of this basis to build on. And so for me, the most stressful part of this year was will these events make sense for our guests? Will they want to participate in them? And will it be a good use of their time and money? Because when you're organizing a market, it's also a commercial entity, we're not highly commercial. We're not dealing in Hollywood films or something, but it is about helping people generate income and audience and network. Yes. And those are our three main mandates. And so the festival itself, I decided it was very stressful to plan it, and that's very sad because also organizing live events should be a joyful experience. It should also be about having fun together and building something beautiful and meaningful and idiosyncratic, and trying to build something beautiful, meaningful and idiosyncratic in a digital space that you don't really understand the rules of is, of course, a really stressful and tricky undertaking. Yes. But in the festival week, we decided we would prioritize prioritize joy. So we just put our smiling faces on, yes, and we're like adjusting and adjusting and adjusting the whole time, because
Yes.
I feel like you also, as you were saying, Pavel, you need like the commitment of either your beneficiaries, and in your case, like your audience, to
Yes.
come with you on the journey. So you have to also be willing to, say,
Yes.
we need them as much as they need us. And so this
Yes.
kind of finding ways to work in reciprocity was really
Yes.
an interesting challenge, including that meant being online, 16 hours a day,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
a lot.
And I think it's a big challenge for us if we ever have to do this again, and probably we will have to. That's a feedback from our mutual friend Skadi Loist, actually, who was heading the side event, the industry event about queer television. That what she is missing at the online film festivals is the time out of the discussions. It's like Skype in,
Yeah.
Skype out, but there is no time, no space to mingle. There is no space to actually, enjoy ourselves together and get acquainted to each other besides the actual events. So that will be, of course, a big challenge for us if we ever have to come to this again, I guess.
But I have thoughts on this. Like, I think you can actually create that space, and this, I guess, is also a call to action to everybody. Like,
Yes.
you say those spaces don't exist, but they can exist, I think. But we all have to be committed to go to them, even if we don't like them. In the same way that, like, we're committed to go to the festival cocktail, even if it's like noisy. So I think like we're just in a process of redefining our relationships.
Yes,
And so
definitely.
if we agree that like we need the mingle space, then you have to be willing to turn up and mingle. And I think that's very hard for people
Yes.
at the moment, because our lives are so busy, and I understand that people have to pick up their kids from school at 6 o'clock and can't come for a drink in a Skype. Yeah.
Exactly. So to move on, I would like to come to the actual films that you have already seen, and I would like to ask every one of you to name one, maybe two, maybe three films in the selection that you really loved, and I hope it will not be three films the same, but we will see. Maybe there will. So Bara, can we start with you? What did you like in the main competition so far, and why did you like the films you did?
Okay, so in general, for me as a journalist, it's often more important than the topic, kind of a message or statement that makes you rethink a status quo of the society we are living in, as Marianne mentioned earlier. So that's probably why I have no hard feelings. Then yesterday I watched Little Girl, the documentary, a French documentary, which I find it also very moving and really emotional.
Yes.
And Makeup. Yeah,
Yes.
that's the third
Perfect.
favorite for me.
Thank you so much. I'm not gonna comment on that, of course, because I want
Yeah.
to. I want you to make your decision on your own. But let's move on to Bridget, if we may. What were your favorite film or films so far?
Unfortunately, we have crossovers there, so which is really, it's a problem. Now I have to think about what I also liked, but I watched this. I mean, I loved Little Girl. I watched that last night too. I really was like flashed by it a lot. And then I guess I liked this Argentinian film that I watched today. And I can't remember the title.
One in a Thousand.
Yes.
One in a Thousand or El Cazador. They are actually two Argentinian films.
No, it's not One in a Thousand. It's the other one.
El Cazador.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My brain is still broken from my...
Yeah. Okay, Marianne, how about you? What did you like?
Yeah, I like more movies. If I say I really like Between the Seasons, Minion, and the Drive-In. I say it first because that were movies that I enjoyed to watch, but more, or to put on the top, it was also No Hard Feelings. I found really one of the most strongest movies I've seen in this year, and also One in a Thousand. I was really moved by this one, and Lola. Okay, I say 3.
Yeah.
I said more, but
Yeah.
this last 3 were for me for now one of the, I wouldn't say best, say maybe that touched me most.
Yes. Thank you for sharing the films, and I am really curious what will be the winner in the end. We will announce the winner together on the 21st of November, next week on Saturday. So let's slowly move on to the end of our lovely discussion, and I must say once more that I'm really, really happy to be here with you tonight, at least virtually. The last question from me would be, because now in the setting that we cannot go into the cinemas are closed in our countries. Do you actually enjoy watching films or series at home? And which kind of films or series do you prefer when you're alone or with your partners or with your family at home? If you have any recommendations for us, Baro, if you can start again.
Yeah. So I would like to mention, I watch mostly series at home, and I would like to mention series We Are Who We Are of Luca Guadagnino's. I like almost all the movies made by him, and I really like that. It's I like the lazy mood and the pace and the sweaty summer, and it brought kind of relief for me, especially in this time, like during the lockdown. So yeah.
And what is it about? I don't know the series. I haven't heard of that, I guess.
We Are Who We Are. It's about the 2 teenagers living in a American soldiers base in Italy near to Venice, and it's a story of 2 teenagers, having a friendship together, and also about their parents. There is a lesbian couple as well, and it's really, so you have to watch it.
Perfect. Thank you for the recommendation. And I assume you like watching the series most of all on your couch at home, right? Yeah, that's the same for me actually. The short forms are better. Bridget, how about you?
Well, yeah.
Should I tell you the truth or should I tell you a lie?
No, you should tell the truth.
Okay.
So you hate the cinema?
No. No. But I would like to continue to be invited to juries. So I will preface this statement by saying I do also watch films, but at the moment I've been exclusively watching competitive British baking shows.
Yes.
And family drama.
They are a big thing, right?
Yeah, and it's just because I've just exited a period of spending a long time looking at screens for the film festival, and I just I don't have at the moment the concentration level to dedicate myself to content that I need to take seriously. So I'm watching my Mezipatra films, and I have to leave my phone in the other room because otherwise I'll just mess around on it. And this is one of the problems that I have of not being in the cinema. In the cinema, I get a much more concentrated view. And as somebody who has, I don't think I have ADHD or something, but I certainly have concentration issues. I really miss the immersive experience of watching things together. And also at home, I'm too tempted to not use my brain or destroy it via British baking shows.
Yes. I pretty much share your opinion as well, that at home you have to or we prefer to watch something lighthearted or something funny rather than serious. And of course I miss personally I personally miss the cinematic experience so much. also when selecting the films for Mezipatra, etc. How about you, Marianne? What do you like to watch at home, if you like to watch anything at home? And what would be your recommendations?
Yes, it's maybe similar as Bara said, that at home I usually watch series now. I don't know if maybe I really also need to be in cinema to watch whole movie and to concentrate on it. And so at home I really watch series now. My guilty pleasure kind of is this Nordic noir detective series. Doesn't matter if it's from Iceland or Sweden or Denmark. So these are my favorite series right now. But also to be queer for a while, I watched this Australian. It's not sitcom. It's maybe dramedy. It's called Please Like Me, and I found it really amusing and also intelligent and also really funny and sad at the same time.
What is the
And I
topic?
discovered Hannah Gadsby. The topic. It's written by Josh Thomas. It's a young. I think he studied TV school, film of school, and he wrote a sitcom about his life, about his relation with his mother, and she ended in a mental institute, and she became friend with a lesbian woman. She took to her home and started to live with her. And that's how I discovered Hannah Gadsby, this actress or a woman that makes her own stand-up comedy, and that's how I. This is my recommendation. It's on one streaming platform. Hannah Gadsby, 2 shows. One is called Nanette, and the second one is called Douglas, and it's really like an hour of excellent stand-up show, and watch it twice, I must say, because I really loved it. So that's my discover the show Please Like Me and Hannah Gadsby stand-up comedies, because it's really excellent.
Perfect. So we are coming to an end of our session. I would like to thank you once more for being with us, for being our great jurors this year. And I cannot wait to meet you at the closing night again, virtually. And thank you so much. If you want to say anything final, Baro.
Well, thank you as well, and I hope you all will be safe, COVID-free, and watch Mezipatra movies. And well, I'm really curious how we are going to decide, because it will be tough, really.
Yes. Bridget?
Oh, just thank you so much for having us and for having being given this wonderful task of deciding. And I hope the audiences enjoy the films as much as we are.
Yes.
And I really hope to be back in Prague as soon as possible.
Yes. And Marianne?
Yes, also thank you for having us, and thank you for this opportunity. And I was really looking forward to be in Prague during this week, so I'm really sad I couldn't. So, but it's not so far from Bratislava, so I hope we will meet soon live, and maybe with all the other jurors to meet in person, because it's a pleasure to be here and to talk to you, and we'll see how it ends in the competition.
Thank you. And I was writing this all over my social media, all the guests and all the jurors that have been part of this year's virtual Mezipatra or online Mezipatra will be invited to the next offline edition. So I hope I will meet you all here physically next year. And thank you again, and have a great night. And all the audiences, thank you as well for watching the films. Watch more films, and we will be meeting here again. Thank you, and have a good night.